Hello, my dear children. How are you all? I know. Exam time is here and the tension must be building up, right? But please don't worry at all, especially not about this beautiful, beautiful poem. Today, we are going to understand My Mother at 66 so well that scoring full marks will feel like a piece of cake. That's a promise from me to you. So, what's our plan for today? It's super simple. First, we'll get to know the poet a little. Then we'll walk through the poem bit by bit. We look at the inside versus the outside world, that old familiar ache. And then, the most important part, we'll solve some exam questions together. And finally, we'll understand that smile, smile and smile. In just a few minutes, you'll be a master of this poem. Chalo, are you ready? Let's start.
All right, so first up, poet, poem, and you. You know, to really feel a poem, it always helps to know the person who wrote it. So let's meet the wonderful poet, Kamala Das.
So, this is Kamala Das. She was born in Malabar in beautiful Kerala, and she is one of India's most important poets, really. She was a super sensitive writer, the kind who could capture feelings that are sometimes hard to put into words. She was an expert at writing about, relationships. Complicated human relationships. And that's exactly what this poem is. It's all about that special, deep connection between a daughter and her mother.
Okay, now we come to the poem itself. The Painful Realization. I want you to close your eyes for a second and just imagine this scene beta. The poet is driving. She's going from her parents' home to the Cochin airport. And who is sitting right next to her? Her mother. It all starts with this very simple car ride.
So as they're driving, the poet just looks over at her mother. And what does she see? Her mother is sleeping, with her mouth a little open, and her face looks ashen, like that of a corpse. And that's when it hits her. She realized with pain.
Let's break this down, okay? Doze, open-mouthed. That's a very simple, very normal thing you see when older people sleep, right? But then comes the big one, ashen, like that of a corpse. Wow, that's a simile. A simile is just when you compare one thing to another using like or as. And what a comparison. It's shocking, isn't it? It tells us her mother's face was so pale, so gray, it looked lifeless. And this is the moment of pain, the sudden, heartbreaking thought that her mother is getting really, really old.
So this thought it's a really heavy, painful thought, isn't it? What do we do when we have a sad thought like that? We try to push it away, right? We look for a distraction, and that is exactly what our poet does. To get away from that scary idea, she quickly looks out of the car window. And what does she see outside? She put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. Suddenly, everything is full of life, full of energy. The trees look like they are running, and happy children are just rushing out to play. Look at this amazing contrast. This is so important. Inside the car, there's her old mother. She's sleeping, she's still, she's pale. It's a symbol of age, of decay. But outside the car, it's the complete opposite. You have young trees that seem to be sprinting with energy and happy, merry children playing. This is all about youth and life. This big difference between the inside and the outside makes the poet feel the sadness even more. But, of course, the car ride ends. They reach the airport. The distraction of the trees and children is gone, and after the security check, the poet is standing a little away from her mother, and she looks at her one last time before saying goodbye. And in that moment, she looked again at her mother. She saw her looking wan, which means weak and pale, as a late winter's moon, and that's when she felt it, that old, familiar ache, my childhood's fear. The fear she tried to push away, well, it's back, and it's stronger than ever. Now, this simile is very, very important for your exams, okay? A late winter's moon. Just think about it. Is a winter moon bright and shiny? No, right? It's often hazy, a little foggy, and it doesn't have that bright glow. It's a perfect comparison for her mother who has lost her own youthful glow and strength. This is a powerful, powerful image.
And what about this old familiar ache? What does that mean? I think you all know this feeling. Remember when you were a small child, maybe in a mela or a market, and for just 1 second you couldn't see your amma? That sudden fear that grabs your heart, that's the one. It's the childhood fear of losing your mother, of being separated. But now, for the poet, that old fear is back, and it's much deeper. It's the fear of losing her mother forever. Okay, we've understood the poem's feelings. Now let's get practical. Let's talk about scoring full marks. I've picked out some of the most common questions from this chapter. Chalo, let's solve them together and you'll see just how easy it is.
First question, and trust me, this is a favorite for the examiners. It comes up all the time. Why has the mother been compared to the late winter's moon? Think about what we just discussed. Here's your perfect answer in 3 simple points. 1. A winter moon is hazy and lacks brightness. 2. Just like the moon, the mother's face is pale or wan and has lost its youthful energy. And 3. It's a symbol of old age and fading life. You just write these 3 points, and I promise you'll get full marks for this question. Okay, on to the next one. This is another super important question because it deals with the very end of the poem. What do the parting words of the poet and her smile actually mean? What do they signify? So, the most important thing to understand is that her words and her smile are a way to hide her true feelings. When she says, "See you soon, Amma," she's trying to give hope to her mother and also to herself. But that smile, it's like a mask, a brave mask to hide all the fear and pain inside her. She doesn't want her Amma to worry, you see. And that brave act of hiding her pain brings us to the very last lines and the meaning behind that final goodbye. All I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. Why did she repeat the word smile 3 times? Because one smile wasn't enough. The repetition shows you how much effort it took her. It was a struggle to keep that smile on her face and not break down crying. So those 3 smiles, they carry so much meaning. The first smile shows her helplessness. She knows she can't stop her mother from getting old. The second smile is for her love. She wants to give her mother a happy, cheerful farewell. And the third smile, that is for her hope, a desperate, heartfelt hope that this isn't their last goodbye and that she will see her Amma again. We've gone through the whole thing now, haven't we? From the beginning to the end, even the important questions. So if you had to remember just one single thing about this poem, what should it be? It's this. At its heart, it's a very simple, very honest poem. It's about a daughter's love for her mother and that painful, aching fear we all have of losing our parents to old age. It's a feeling that every single one of us can understand. And that's it. See? I told you it was simple. You have understood this chapter completely now, so don't be scared of the exam. You are totally prepared and you are going to do wonderfully. All the very best, my dear children.